Microphone check. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Random Art. I stream mixed media and gaming. Today we're gonna check out the papers that we rusted yesterday. Um, um, some of them, I'm just gonna tell you what you can't that what you can expect or what may happen. Some of them might be stuck together. That always happens. Um, and what you do if they stuck together, you just let them dry completely, and usually they come apart. Then some of the metal pieces might be stuck on a page. Trying to get these gloves back on. I don't have another pair. I need to, well, I ain't gonna say I need to buy some. I'm sure I have bought some specifically for this. It's just that most of my stuff, like I, keep saying, is either here in storage or up north in storage. And hopefully I can get it, back from both places soon. Okay, yeah, I was able to get it back on. So let's turn to the table and I can show you how I left it. Pretty much how we started. I had made a couple fresh batches of coffee now just in case I want to do some more today. But this is pretty much how we left it. And I just put some cans on top of them. Trying to put them all back in the frame. And I just put like some paint inside the cans. Cause I wanted to like see if I can make some lines or something. And it did make like a subtle line, in the top. Wait a minute, I forgot something. I'll be right back. It's okay. I can get it later. I was gonna get like some sandwich bags to put the rust pieces in, but I kind of don't want to go dig in the sandwich bag with these gloves on, and I don't want to take them off and put it back on. So I'll just kind of stack them maybe to the side neatly, and then put them in sandwich bags later. Um, oh, well, we can start with this piece. This piece really didn't have any metal. It was laying on metal, but it was laying on this. And this one's kind of dry already. But as you can see, this is how it looks. So you can see like the metal went through. Let me see if I can push this up just a little bit more. Okay, that's good. So as you can see where the metal piece like went through a little bit here and here, but not a lot of rusting. So sometimes I leave these like they are, or sometimes I spray them with more coffee. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave them, and then I think I'm just gonna put these pieces in the cans. Then later I'll put them in some sandwich bags. So this one, of course, you saw the pieces that were laying on this one. So this one did get rusted a little bit, and even that piece, well, mainly the piece that I didn't expect to do anything. Well, no, that was the piece I'm sorry, I put on last. Sorry for bumping the camera. But I like how grungy they come out, and then this one's not dry. It's still damp on the inside. But like they all vary. Like again, as you can see, the rust goes through the paper, and it's even still rusty here and here where it was folded, and you can see some rust like all over the paper. I like this. I probably wouldn't add anything to this. And then the folds, you can kind of see them, but they stay in even when I iron the paper. The lines stay in because like they're subtle color. I don't know if you can see it in the line, so that color is gonna stay there. Trying not to let it make such a big loud noise. So this one too. Some of them didn't get rusted a lot. I'm trying to see if I can see some bubbles. But it's still, I like the grunginess that it makes. How grungy they come out. And then again, this is from the one that's below it. And not a lot happened with this one on the inside, because a lot of them I didn't wet them a lot on the inside. I just mostly coffee dyed it on the outside. So this one I will probably coffee dye some more. Let me just spray it and let it dry. Yeah, that one I'll probably add more coffee dye to the white parts. Because some of them that have the white part, I like it because even the white part is interesting. Like this one, that one, that white section really didn't have a lot going for it. So some of them, like I said, they're just lightly rusted, and some of them are more rusted than others. But I'm after the rust, but I'm also after like the indentions that it made and how it stains the paper. I guess you could say that. So I like that one too. Some of these pieces I've never used before, like these pieces I've never used before. Sorry. Trying to put them in there so it won't make such a loud noise. So this one is real wet. Some of them I might have not put enough rusting solution or washed it away with too much coffee dye. But so this one I might coffee dye the white sections, but like the lines that I was talking about, this one has a lot of it. And like I said, when you iron it, these lines are still going to be in there. A little bit of rusting came through on the back, but I like how grungy this one is. So I probably wouldn't add anything to it. I don't know. I like it the way it is. Maybe a little coffee, but I'm gonna wait till it's completely dry, and probably until I iron it and see. I didn't expect this one to do too much. This piece rarely rusts at all anyway, because it's too three-dimensional. This one didn't do anything. This is one of the pieces I just bought. It's probably not rusted enough. Maybe I need to put it inside some rusting solution to get it more rusty. So yeah, this was the first time me using those pieces, because I just bought them. And this is just the one that I put coffee rings on when I was coffee dyeing it. And then as you can see how they dried. I think this is like just some type of indentation from that piece. Not really rust. but it did cause some discoloration, as you can see on both sides. But yeah, this one was mainly just coffee dyed, but they're still like more interesting than just regularly spraying them with coffee. So this one has a little bit more rust on it. I'm interested to see if the fabric's rusted. And again, this was one of the big pieces that are not flat. But it still, like I said, leaves some type of a mark, even if that mark isn't rust. This one did rust a little bit. And if you don't feel like these pages are rusted enough, you could do it again. You could put the rust pieces back on there and then spray them again with the rust solution. But I like how they turn out to be just unusually dyed papers. They're not just regularly like you see coffee dyed paper. Yeah, I like the rust in that one. This one has a little bit more rust. So that was that one folded on there. And of course, like I said, it goes through. Even though it gets a little less intense as it goes through, but it does go through to the next pages. Ooh, this is just nice and grungy. This one's not dry. And see, like I said, it went through to the inside also. But this is going to be a pretty piece once it's dry. And once I iron it flat, yeah, this is going to be nice. It has some of that stuff we were doing with the coffee dyeing, where I was using the stencil first. And then put some of that black ink. Yeah, this one's turned out nice. I really like that one. Now I'm interested to see what the other ones look like that I did that stencil too. So yeah, this is how I coffee dye, coffee and tea dye. And like I said, if you don't want like the white part, you can still spray more coffee on it. All this rusting and stuff is still gonna stay. But I kind of like it the way it is. I don't need the whole page to be coffee dyed. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this looks like once it's completely dry. This piece I had never used before. It it stained it, but I don't know if it actually rusted it. But I like ooh, look at that. That's from the bottom piece. That one rusted nicely. That's from the what I laid it on. That's why I kind of lay it on them so I can get like a twofer. That looks nice. This whole page looks nice. I kind of like that I played with the ink. Even though this one, you know, the stencil didn't really come out alike. This one is really wet. But like I said, look at the fold lines. Look at the what it did in the fold. Oh, this is going to be really pretty too. And then it's got some slight rusting. And like I said, it goes through. Ooh, I don't know which side I like better. This one is less intense, but I like this side too. I hate when I have two sides that I like and I have to choose. I guess it depends on the piece I'm going to use it on, which side I choose. Yeah, I like both of those. And it seemed like this one got more rust on the top piece than it did on the bottom piece. Ooh, that one rusted nicely. I gotta find the rest of my dragonflies because I know I have a couple more. Ooh, yeah, this one rusted really nicely. Most of these washers, I use them over and over again. Some of the pieces that I've never used and the rusting, yeah, this one went through real nice. So it's like I was trying to get the middle to look nice, and on some of them the edges look just as nice, even if they still got the white going on it. This is pretty. I love this one. Yeah, this is really nice, and then it went through. So if you looking for something a little bit more subtle, you can use the back side. But some of these, well, a lot of them, before I use them, I'm gonna probably scan them into my, scan them so I have them and I can use them again. After I use the original, I'll still have them. And you could do a lot of things when you scan it in. You could turn it into a brush, or just make printables. I might make printables. I've been wanting to do printables. Um, but I wouldn't charge for them. I would just let you download them once I get it set up. This is nice. So yeah, this would look good as a journal page or as a focal point on a journal. And then like the ink and the rusted solution, like I said, it turns gray in some areas. I like that. This is rusted pretty nicely too. It seems like the tops are rusting better than the bottom, but that's okay. Like I said, that's why I lay them down to get the two first. Yeah, that looks good. So this was another one that I sprayed. I like the way these look, the ones that either I sprayed through or I wiped off the back section. Yeah, these look nice. I can't wait to iron them. I normally like put them on a flat surface, or I used to have like one of them portable ironing boards, and then I have an iron just for craft stuff that I don't use on clothes or anything like that. And then I just iron them flat. Yeah, see, like I said, it goes through. That's another reason why I like folding it, because then you get a uniform design. Yeah, I like, and I really like how the edges are turning out, even though my main focus was trying to get stuff in the middle. This one got some rust on it. Oh, this one did something. So this one must have been a little bit more rustier than that other one. But I'm going to put those in some more rusting solution and let them get a little bit more rusty. Yeah. So this rust stays. It doesn't like come off or anything like that. And even on fabric, it stays. I guess it's like, when it rusts like pipes or stuff, it stays. It's difficult to remove, but yeah. See, I like these folds. This was the side I think I sprayed some of that ink on to see what it would do, and then I watered it down. Yeah, I like how these are turning out. So, like I said, you never know like what you're gonna get as far as what it's gonna look like once you unfold it. Oh, this one rusted really nicely. So I don't know. Some of them are rusting and some of them are not, but I love that. I love that a lot. Yeah. And then as you can see, the red ink, it doesn't dry that intense. It's like, especially when you spray it and water it down. Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot. See, this would be like difficult to get doing it any other type of way. You couldn't get this much texture and complexity just by trying to spray it with coffee. Yeah, this one rusted real nicely. Oh yeah, I had put pieces on the inside too. I don't want to jinx myself, but so far I haven't found any that are stuck, which is good. Some of them, like I said, stick. This is the back, and I haven't even turned to the front, and I'm excited. Ooh, like this right here. This is kind of why I kind of use them like for journal pages, because it'd be difficult for me to pick a side. Look at that. Look at that. I like that a lot. This one rusted really nicely. Like it went through, I don't know, this is my favorite section right here. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Uh-oh. Like I said, I spoke too soon. Okay, it didn't stick. I thought it was going to get stuck on there. It seemed like it was not coming off. And you could see, like, with the bottle cap, them little ridges. The reason why I said I wanted it down on here to make some type of an indentation. If you just watching this one and you didn't watch the one yesterday, yesterday is when I did all of this. So if you want to see what we did to get this, ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, and that's from one of the favorite ones I have. Look at that. That's when I say, that's when the white, that's when you want to keep it, even though it's stark, it just still looks good. Like when it's dry. So this is one of the ones where I sponged around the edge. Ooh. See what I say about the backs? The backs be looking just as good as the front. So it didn't die too much on the bottom, but on the tops, this is the one where I tried to stamp a little bit. But like I said, even the even if it's not a lot of rust, it leaves some type of indentation and some type of mark. This one is really, really faint, and I don't know. Well, okay, you can see it. I was gonna say you'll be able to see it better once it's dry. A lot of these are still damp. Some of them are real wet, and some of them are just damp. So this is the one of the ones that I also sprayed through a stencil. Look at this. I like this. So yeah, once they dry, like this texture, you'll be able to see it a little bit more. This was the other piece that we sprayed, or I picked it up. I can't remember if I sprayed it. Ooh, I like what's going on through there. And that's from the stencil below, not the one on top. But I was showing you how it comes through as I was dyeing it. Some of them I mashed them down to show you how it comes through. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's see the inside. And let's do the outside as a big reveal. Oh, so you know, if it came through like this, you can just imagine what it looks like on the outside. Wow, look at that. That's gonna make a great focal point. Look at that. Yeah, this is nice. Very nice. And then I like in some places you can still see the subtle dyeing. Like even though this doesn't have a lot, look at the texture though. And it's just an added personality. It adds personality to it. Even like the lightly rusted sections that you can see, which you'll be able to see better once it's dry. But ooh, this right here. If this is the only thing I get, I'm very satisfied. Wow. This was the one that I sprayed with the white and the black ink. And I was telling you that it was like bleeding. Come on now. Let me see if I can get, okay, it's coming on. Oh, but it might tear. So like I said, if it's not completely dry, I just leave it on there until it is completely dry. Then it'll come out. So that's what I do in that case. But I'm gonna still open it up and show you what we got so far. So this is like the folded side where it went through, and some of them just only thing went through is a circle, but this right here, yeah, this is, so this is where I put the black and white ink, and it kind of bled out, kind of feathered out the black and turned gray a little bit. So I'm gonna put that one over there because I know it needs to dry and everything, for everything to be off of it. This one is sticking a little bit. It's probably the same thing. I probably should let it dry, but I'm gonna pick it up and show it to you. This one is very, very wet, but wow. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm just so excited. This is another piece that I used for the very first time to see what it does. And it's a little stuck, but look under there. The part you can see. I'm like, wow. So I just let it continue. Ooh, look at this. I just let it continue to dry. And then it'll come off, and less paper will come off. If I tear it off now, more paper will come off than if I just let it dry completely and then take it off. But I love that. So, oh, this the silk fabric. Ooh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Ooh. Look at this, y'all. So this is why I like to play with this technique. Look at this. If you were here yesterday, you know this was all white. And look at it now on both sides. And this won't come off. The silk fabrics, I put them in a wash machine and wash them. I like pre-rinse them, and then I put them in a wash machine. Air break is coming, so I'm gonna kind of stop here for a minute while the air break goes through. Cause I don't know, everybody doesn't have a turbo, and I don't expect them to, and everybody's not sub to me, and I don't expect that to. I just look at it as generosity when they do. But look at this. This is like, wow. So, let's see if I can get this off before the air break. Maybe. No, it's kind of sticking too. So I'm going to leave it. This piece came off. So I'm going to like kind of stop. That one is kind of stuck too. Doing the air break and probably start on this stack. think I'm gonna take a baby wipe. Well, and I'm gonna wait. I was gonna open my water, but no. Well, I might come up with minimal tearing. This one. Okay, cool. Whew. That looks good. I cannot get over this. And I have a lot more of this silk. Um, I just can't get over this fabric. I'm sorry. I just like every bit of it. I was trying to figure out how I might use it in a project. So it says my community is back. I was just looking at this fabric, trying to figure out what I want to do with it. And since it's silk, I would probably wash it and then let it air dry. I wouldn't put this one in the dryer. Um, I'm thinking of stuff like, when I see stuff like this gets me thinking on my next book project, and it's kind of the reason why I can't finish the current book that I be working on, because I see something like this and then I start getting ideas for the next book project. So this one is mostly stuck, but as you can see, this is mostly from the bottom piece. It's kind of coming to loose, but I didn't. Oh, it might come all the way loose. Okay, it did with minimal tearing. for the follow, my creative dreams. Thank you. And thank you for coming back. How are you today? Ooh, look at that one. I'm just opening up the fabrics. I mean the papers and the fabrics I did yesterday. I thought I already followed you, but Twitch has been twitchy. That happens a lot. It's a lot of people I think I'm already followed too, and I don't know. Twitch makes you unfollow for some reason. But thank you for coming back and following again. But like I said, I was just unfolding the papers that I was rusting yesterday. And I'm getting pleasantly surprised with each one I open. And what has me most surprised is this fabric. I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm really thinking of something to do with it. But thank you. Thank you so much. So this one is, like I said, it's kind of stuck. Oh, it might come out. It came all the way apart with like minimal damage. But this is another one where I sprayed the stencil. They're looking great. Thank you. I'm in love with them. And like I was saying about the fabric, stuff like this gets me enthused. Ooh, for the next book project. And it's why I can't finish the current book project. This is beautiful. I might need to make some art around this one. I love this. Man, I love this so much. Yeah, these are the pieces, like I said, I recently purchased, so I had never used them before. And I didn't know how they were going to perform. This one might be really stuck. So I don't know. I might have to wait till this one dries. But look at the back. Look at the paper on the back and how it goes through. Wow. It even went through to the freezer paper I have down. So yeah, when they really, really stuck, let me see. Let me give it a, okay, it's coming. I'll let them dry. It might be a little paper come off, but not much. Okay, cool. Wow. And this is another piece of metal on the inside, but you can barely tell that any different from the paper. Let me see. I can get this to open without sticking. Oh, it's doing good. But it's kind of sticking there, so I'm gonna let it dry completely. But wow, it's already, wow. I'm so happy with these metal pieces that I purchased. So now we're on the other stack, and this one, just like I said, had a can sitting on top of it with some paints in it just to weigh it down, but it did get a little bit of the lines from the cans on there. I think the next time I dye some, oh, this is one of the tea bag ones. So I wanted to show you how the tea bag ones come out. It's always dark in the middle where the tea was folded in. And then some of the tea, this is one of the ones like I dipped in the tea. Normally I dip them like completely in the tea. Ooh, but this still looks good. You can see some of the rust from the piece below it. But yeah, so the tea bag makes like a dark impression, especially when you fold it around it. I like this. I like this. I don't know. Some of them I'll be wanting to add more coffee to, but I don't know if I want to add more coffee down to that one. I kind of wait to let them dry to see if I want to add additional stuff to them. So this is from the piece on the bottom. I don't know if I have a piece in the middle of this one. Oh yeah, this is another tea bag one. I think, oh yeah, this is the tea bag stack. And I think some of the ink is coming through from like some of the ones that I had spray put ink on them below, but you can see the rust came through the folds. Like I said, that's why I like folding it, because I like getting the rust on the inside. Ooh, this is pretty. And it's tearing a little bit, but like I said, some of them are still wet. And they still gonna turn out fine, even if they tear. Because sometimes, especially if I use them for collage, I don't use the whole piece anyway. But yeah, I like how the lines are gonna look once I iron this flat. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that. And this tea I had never used before. Like I said, it was some type of vanilla cream. So it's got like a more yellow in it than the tea bags I normally use. They're darker, because I normally use black tea, but I didn't have any, so I just got something in that was old that I know we never like used before, and use that. So it's more yellow than it normally is with the teas I normally use. It's normally darker, but I still like it. I still like it a lot. Ooh, look at that side. This was another one where I either dipped it in the red, or I just sponged it around the corners. And look at this section here. I'm like, man, I be loving these papers. And then, like, if both sides are good, that's why I end up using them as a journal page, because I don't be knowing. That one got kind of stuck, and some of the paper came off, but it still looks good, because you can see some of the paper on the rusted piece. But man, ooh, and look at that side. So yeah, this one's still very, very wet, but man, look at how the rust goes through. Oh, this one looks really, really good. I know I'm saying that about all of them, but I can't help it. I'm loving how they turning out. Look at this as a focal point. I gotta use these in some art. I don't know. But like I said, I'm probably gonna scan all of them, or at least most of them, the ones I like. Man, look at that. That's pretty. So I'll scan them both sides, and then you'll see me using them over and over again when I print them out and use them. But this might have to go in some art. My only problem is, like, what side would I use? That's why they end up being book pages, because I don't be wanting to. I can't decide, but I really like this side, I think. Yeah, that one came out really, really nice. So, like, the rust, they vary in how much rust. I don't know, that one might be stuck to this side too. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one dry, because it's coming up more than it came up on the other side. But let's see how it looks through. It did go through, so you can see it there. Oh, this was another tea bag one. So yeah, the tea bag ones are coming out with this yellow color, which is unexpected, and I really like it. I have some more of those tea bags. I wish I would have used the tea, but I didn't put alcohol in it, so it kind of went bad. Now that I see what it looked like, I might just make some and put it in a spray bottle, because I like this yellow. That's stunning. The last one, yeah, that last one was beautiful. But yeah, I got some more of that tea, so I might make it up and put it in a spray bottle, because I like this yellow. It still looks kind of tan in the to y'all, but it's more yellow than it is tan. in person. And then you can see what a tea bag is. So it makes a lovely color that I wasn't expecting. And like what it did to this one, man. So this is one of the tea bags that tore. And like I said, some of them do tear. But I still use them even though they tear. I just let them dry completely. And either take advantage of the tear. Yeah, so this one tore. But still, look at that. Look at that. Like I even like this little section right here where it's like lightly rusted. All of the some of these pages, a lot of them have a lot of different personalities that I can see myself using like bits and pieces of it in different ways. So that's why I kind of do like to experiment and see what's gonna come, how it's gonna come out. Yeah, that's beautiful. And then they always die on both sides, which is what I love, especially when I'm going to use it for pages in a book. Um, that one is stuck too. Like I said, some of them might get stuck, and that's expected. It happens every time I do this, but I just let them dry completely. So this was another tea bag one that tore, but you're seeing the rust that's coming through. Did I have another piece under? I thought I did, but maybe not. But you can see the rust coming through. Oh, it might come off. It seems like it's coming off, but it's still like, let's see if it's gonna take a little bit of the paper off, but not a lot. So that came out pretty good. And even though it tore, you can't even tell. And once it dries, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, this is another one of the tea bag ones. The tea bag ones are really surprising me. So now it's getting me to want to try a lot of different teas, not just what I'm used to trying, to see if I get different colorations. So that one looks good too. And then I don't know where this imagery comes from. I don't know what made that happen, but I like it. So, and that's the other side. This is that one that I tried, that grater, cheese grater. Ooh, for the first time. Look at that. That looks good. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that came out nice. Even the very back part that didn't get much. Oh, so that's where that came from. That came from this rusting through to this paper. Yeah, that's where that came from. So that's why I said you get a lot of what you don't expect to happen, because that's this right here. So that's where that came from. So that's why I overlap them to see what I'm going to get on the the other pages. Yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah, I'm going to use this one again. Let me see if it's stuck to it. Oh no, it came out fine. Came out fine. Let's see. That one I'm gonna leave. let it dry, but we can still look at it. It's got a lot of rusting underneath that, but it's stuck. Some of them I play with a little bit and they come out with minimal tearing. So this one might do that. Okay, yeah, it did. Oh, I'm too high up. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that came out really, really nice. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can get, like, do some jelly prints that would complement these papers so I can use them together in a collage. That's pretty too. That's from the piece being on top. I mean, it being on top. That's from this, I think. And not, I don't think it's the coming through from the bottom, it's from the top piece. Oh, this is another one that I play with the stencil. Okay. With the wording, that most of it got washed out, but some of it stayed. But I'm just all about the rust. But this does add something to it. So some of them I might play with the little stenciling a little bit more and just add that to it, because the rust is not going anywhere. That's gonna stay, but I might just add to them, some of them, because I like the ones with that stencil, how they came out really nicely. Some of them with the print subtly behind it. This little piece I had never used before, because it's not flat. The pieces that are not flat are kind of hard to use. This one is really stuck. Let me see. I'm gonna leave that one. Yeah, let that one dry. It's still really, really wet too. As you can see, it's not coming unfolded easily, but it's beautiful. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Very nice. And what? Oh, I got 2 more stacks. I thought I only had 1. So again, just to weigh it down, I just put some paints in the can and laid it on top of it. These pieces, these I had never used before, because again, they're thicker pieces, so they're not flat. So I just kind of laid them on the top to see what happened. And I think this one I sprayed with some ink. You could see where it made the lines though, that rolled up piece. That's kind of what I wanted to get. Ooh, this one was one of the ones I think I sprayed with some dye. So it has a lot of black, but that's beautiful still. And so grungy. That's one of the things I'm trying to get, grungy. Look at that one. So, yeah, that one has a lot of ink, but it's going to dry so nice. It's going to dry really nice. These are pieces I never used before. Again, because they're not that flat. And they just really just cause like more of an indentation. They're really doing any rusting. The middle piece is rusted a little bit. And then the ones on the bottom rusted. This one I will probably add some more of the stencil to it because I like the top part. And then let's see the back. The back is really subtle, just more coloration more than anything. It just took the dye and the coffee, and in places you got a little bit of rust, but it's mostly just interesting color that you still couldn't get any other way, you know, than doing something like this. This is one of the ones I sprayed the black ink through, and then also put ink on the washers below it, so a lot of that ink transferred and a little bit of rusting transferred. The one, I don't know, it seemed like the ones on the bottom are still a lot wetter. So this is this one. I wish this would have turned out more black. I don't know why it turned out kind of bluish. The one I picked up, I thought it was more black. So what I might do is put some, I don't know, I made 2 coffee dyes. I might put a little bit of black ink in one of them and try to do the spray thing and get some of the blackness to come up, or, you know, something darker when I use that stencil again. So yeah, this is one of the ones where I put the ink in the middle. It's a little bit of rust on the back. And again, mostly just dark, grungy texture. I don't love all of them, but all of them are interesting in their own way. And then like something like this, I would just probably use it in a journal page. Or as some collage. Just take the parts that I do like or find more interesting and use those. These are also pieces I never used before, but again, because they're not flat, so they just mostly made like an indentation, not really rusting. The washer did some rusting. But like I said, like once they're dry, if you like unsatisfied with the rusting or you unsatisfied with the coloration, which I'm rarely am, that's why I got a, you know, that book I was showing yesterday, that most of them I didn't add anything to the pages because I like the pages just the way they are. And then there was one more stack to go. So that was a lot of pages we did yesterday. And like it's gonna be really difficult for me to figure out how I'm gonna do some jelly prints to complement these, because I don't know. Oh, this is the other piece of fabric that I put down. This one is nice, but it's not as impressive as the other one, but it's still nice. Yeah, so it's still very pretty. I really like what happened around the edge. I think that's where I sprayed the edge with the black. So it's still pretty. And I can probably add something else to it, like some soy wax batik with some dyes or inks. Oh yeah, that's pretty too. I was gonna say, let's see if this one comes apart, because sometimes with the ink they won't. But this one did. That's the back. That's pretty. I really like this section up here. I keep forgetting to do this. To raise into the camera. Because y'all can barely see it. You can see the whole page, but like some of the stuff I'm talking about, like this, like rusted section in the middle, you can barely see from down there. And then this the front. Ooh, that's pretty. Even though it's mostly just black, look how interesting that is. Yeah, these are nice. I'm getting ready to do a series of collage um, to put on. I think I'm gonna do them on cradle board. Um, I'll let y'all see them once I've done them. That you know, it's like a longer process. I might do the collage part, but like the finishing up. I'm sorry, my voice is trying to go, and I kind of don't want to grab my water with these gloves on. Don't leave me, voice. I need you. That's pretty. Ooh. Is that gonna come off? Yeah. It would be. I don't know if you could see. Remember, I told you when the peroxide uh gets on here, sometimes it bubbles, and the bubbles dry. That's what that is. But it's with the ink also, and it made some of the bubbling effect. But that's beautiful. Beautiful. See, some of them, like, I kind of want to, like, see if I can, like, do a whole page of just all of this. So I might have enough washers to accomplish that. But I don't think it'll look as good without the folds. Like I said, once I iron the folds out, and you see the lines that it creates, and then this middle section with that little bit of stamping behind it. When I go through the others again, I'll try to put some of them up close so you can see some of the stuff that I like. Because I forgot to do that. I'm just so excited about these papers. Uh-oh. This one, I think I'll put stuff in the middle. So, I made myself fold them like in all different ways. Ooh, look at that. And that's the back. So look at this right here. I'm pretty sure I did some black ink on this one too, and really sprayed it with water so it would wick out of the sides a little bit. But that's the other side. That's beautiful. And then you can see where this piece kind of went through it. Most of this is from the piece below it. So, yeah, most of this rusting and the design is from the piece below it. Look at this side. So this is the front side. I'm gonna have to do some more. I think I want to do like an all fabric one, and then one where I try to make intentional pages, like maybe a page with all these on it. I think I do have enough of those. So this is how the part that came through looks. That's pretty. So this is the back side. This the front. even like where it really didn't go through, the design that it leaves behind is what I'm trying to get, as well as some rusting. But if I don't get that, as long as I get something that I can use either, in collage somewhere or as a page. So let's just go back through them. So that's the last page. This one I really love. This part right here. And of course this one I like the whole thing. The whole thing on that one. Of course this one, I love this black up here. I like this too, but that black and then this subtle design over here. So that's what I'll be saying. I don't know which side to use. And then this the fabric, one of the fabric pieces. The fabric I used was silk. So this one, this is where most of the rusting took place. But like I said, even like the subtle side and what you see, again, this was on top of that page, so a lot of that came from this. Then that's the back. This one is still, most of the rust is there, it's still from this, because this is where this was folded on top of that. So it goes through to make designs on a lot of different pages, even though you're just putting it between one. And that was like my main goal, because like I said, even the subtle part where it barely rust or stains, it leaves a lot of interesting stuff going on. And like this the back, so even the subtle side, it's got more definition on the back side than it does on the front. This one, I don't know, I would probably add more to it. I guess it doesn't have as much like definition that I could point to. Like if it wasn't for this red ink, it probably wouldn't have a lot going on, but it still have some interesting coloration that you really couldn't get any other kind of way. I couldn't just spray this and try to get this to look like this. You have to like do the folding and do the spraying to get it to look like this. So the back, although subtle, still very interesting. This one is just mostly ink. Once it dries, it'll dry a little bit lighter, and then you can see some of the rusting that's in it. So even the ones that don't make design, they leave like subtle little rusted pieces. So yeah, this is where the rusting really took place. This one, of course, I love every bit of it. I like what these big pieces did. And then, I don't know, the subtle parts, I like them as much as I like the ones that's in your face. So yeah, this was pretty too. And then that was on top of this one. Or yeah, under that one. I forget that one. This one was on top of this one, is what I'm trying to say. Man, words are hard. So that's that one. And then this is the one with the grater. I bought this from an antique store. It was already rusted. So when I saw it, I was like, let me see if I could do some rusting with that. So that came out really, really nice. And like this section, or one of these sections, like with a circle motif as the top part, that would make a nice collage. And then this piece, this was one of the, what's this, a tea stain one? Yeah, this was a tea stain one. And then it was like set on top of some rusty pieces. with the tea and with the ink. And then this part still came from that grater. So this came through to this page from the grater. And then this the back. And this is where the tea bag was wrapped around the paper. And then this was also tea stain. This is the back, I think, of the tea stain one. I like this right here with the black and with the rusted circle. And yeah, this is the inside. As you can tell, the tea bag is darker. But like I said, normally when I do the tea bag, I dip the whole thing in there. But when I first started, the tea was still kind of hot. And I normally don't like, I normally have the tea bag sitting in there for a while and let it cool off. So that's why I didn't dip some of them. But it still turned out just with the rusting solution. That's what this gray is. That's caused by the rusting solution. One time I did the rusting solution and I put a little bit of black ink in it so that this would turn out a little bit darker. I'll do some further experimenting. I don't know. I think this is my favorite piece. I don't know. I think it is. Because it has something going on all over it. Every inch, even the little white part that doesn't have any color adds to it. And then these folds are gonna look amazing once I iron them out. And then this the other side. But I like the way it has something going on through the whole page. And I think this might have been one that I did dip in the tea all the way, because it was folded small enough to get in the cup. And then this one from the red ink that I sponged around it. And then this is also a tea bag one. This came in contact with some of the black ink. And then that's some of the rust going through to the other side. So yes, sometimes the back or the inside gets just as rusted as the outside. Another tea bag one. I think this is a tea bag one. Yeah, it is. I can always tell. This was the top one where I had the can sitting on top of it, weighing it down so I could get a little bit of the lines from the can. So just a lot of subtle coloration. I don't know if you can have two favorites, but I think this is my second favorite. I think when you have a favorite, it's just supposed to be one, but I don't think I could do it. I don't think I can give in to just having one favorite. Look how beautiful this is. So I can't wait to iron this and scan it in so I can use it over and over again. Another thing I do is turn them into like black and white and make Photoshop brushes out of them. Some of them, so I can use them over and over again in other artwork. And then this is the other piece of fabric that I rusted. And just to think that all of this was white when I started. I think it had this little bit of blue ink, but the rest of it was white. So if you were here yesterday, you saw it, that it was white when I started, but look at it now. I can't wait to use this in something. I cannot wait. And then this, I like this section right here. I think this is the one. I don't know. This, I know I put black ink, but this, I might have put black and white ink. I can't remember. I would have to go back and watch my own VOD to remember everything I did. But I like how it turned out. This one is very subtle. All of it is very subtle. This is the one I remember I was trying to stamp. My ink pad was dry, which is probably good. It just added just a little bit extra texture. And then some, just some subtle rusting in places. I like this one a lot too. And some of them, when I scan them and print them back out, I kind of play with them with additional stuff like more ink, or I put them on a jelly plate with like some watered out paint. I do that before deciding if I'm gonna do it with the original. But yeah, this one has a lot of bubbling too from the peroxide, and this is where that distorted bottle cap was folded. But yeah, I like this. I even like I said, where it doesn't, where it barely comes through. And then this one. So yeah, a lot of these new shapes performed. I think it might have been one that really didn't do anything, and that one just might need either for me to use it a couple of more times, or to put it back in some rusting solution. So I'll decide, maybe I'll try to use it again and really spray it more with the rusting solution before I decide if I'm gonna just put it back in a cup with some rusting solution. So these came out nice. These are some of the ones that I sprayed, and like I said, some of the other ones that have a lot of white space, I might go back and spray them too, either with just straight coffee, or I might add a little bit of black ink to one of the coffee things, because I got two coffee things made up. I had bought a new one, a new bottle, and I put darker coffee than I put in the other one. So that's pretty too. Just subtle, very subtle, but just some little rusted areas. But guess, like I'm gonna keep saying, you couldn't get stuff like this any other kind of way without doing some type of folding and spraying and stuff like that. So I like this one. This was a dragonfly. Gotta find my other dragonflies. I know I have at least 3 of them. So that's gonna be pretty on something or in a book. And then this one. See, some of them that I did with the red ink, next time I do it, I would probably make sure I put like a big circle or something in the middle as a focal point. But this one is just part of the dragonfly rusted piece, and then subtle on that side. And then this one. So that's pretty too. So that was another piece that I had never used. Look at this. To me, that looked like a little person. Like the little head, and then the little body, and then the little legs. I don't know what made that shape. I can't remember what it was on top of. And then this one. These are drier. These are some of the ones I didn't spray too much, but like the rusting solution makes that gray color. So even if I just spray coffee in the rusting solution, it's probably going to come up with a interesting texture. This is just the one I did the coffee cup rings, and then sprayed it completely with coffee, and then put it over a rusted piece. But it was one of those round ones that are not flat. So the only thing I really got was this, and just a subtle like gray color over here. So This one just has a lot of grungy texture. And yeah, even on the subtle side. Like once I put, if I put like a foam stamp, like with some watered ink, that would be such a beautiful piece. So some of them I kind of have an idea what I want to do with them. Some of them I don't. So that's pretty. But like they say, if you build it, they will come. Once I make them, I kind of get ideas from them of how I can use them. And then like some of these, if I print them on tracing paper and then like use them over these, they really come out really nice. And that's another thing I didn't do. I didn't do that real thin paper because I'm gonna have to see if that would take rusting well. I've never used it with rusting, and like I said a couple of weeks ago, it's the first time I used it in jelly printing. So I'm just kind of figuring out what you can and can't do with that paper. I know like when it's wet it tears easily, so I don't know if it can stand up to all the spraying that I do when I do this process. So I might just have to experiment with a small little piece and see what it does, see if it can take all the spraying and if it even rusts. And then I know I would probably have to let those completely dry because it would probably stick to everything because of how thin it is and it would tear. So that one's just a lot of subtle texture. And then we have the ones that still have the metal pieces stuck on them that I'm just going to let them dry completely and then I'll take it off. That way it'll be less tearing. If it's not stuck in like multiple places, I'll go ahead and try to get it to come out. But if it's stuck in multiple places, I don't know. I just let it dry and then I take it out. So that's how this one is looking. I'm thinking that I might spray this again since this is still on there. I might do that on some of them, spray it again since I still have the metal on there and I don't want to take it off yet. So this was one of the tea stains wrapped in tea, and it was set on top of this piece. So yeah, you can see where the tea bag was, where it's darker. And then that's from the piece it was laying on top of, but it really came through over here with the rusting and on this side. So, and this, wow. Like I said, this is the rust piece that's still in there because it's stuck. And you can barely tell the difference between the rust piece and the paper that's rusted. And this rust is from this piece, not the piece that was on top of it, because the piece that was on top of it was down here. So look how much this rust came through over here. So good. I can't wait to see the inside. So yeah, that came through nice. And then this the back. So if it came through like this on the back, just imagine what the front is going to look like. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And then this one's also stuck. Just going to let it dry. But a lot of places where I use that dye and that subtle coffee down with the stencil looks really, really intricate and really nice. Then I had a small piece there with some red ink, and then this the back. So yeah, the pieces that have stuff rusted, I might lay them on another piece and spray some more stuff and just let it continue to rust through. So this is another one that have a piece stuck to it. This is the one I think I added the white and black to, and it wicked from the metal piece and kind of bubbled in those places, and you can see where the black and white bubbled, and then the rest of it just left like a ring, and it's just subtle coloring in some places, but still very nice. So I can't wait to use these, and I'll be using them in the coming weeks. Like I said, in collage, and I think I want to do cradle board, but I want to do some jelly print to see if I can make some jelly prints to complement these. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna probably spray some of those again. Let me move all of my rust stuff. I'm just gonna put these back in the bags. I wanted to put them like in a sandwich bag, so it'll be easier for me to get to next time. But the little small pieces for right now, I'm gonna leave those in the can. And then move this so I can do some jelly printing. Those are the pieces that didn't rust that well. I'm just spraying a little bit of that rusting solution on them. And I'm gonna let them sit in here in this can and see if they become a little bit more rusted. As you can see, the rusting solution was white yesterday, but because I put a rusted paper clip, it's a little bit, it turned colors because it's got rust in it now. So when I use this, the items will rust a little bit better than they did with just the fresh batch that I made. So, and like I said, if you were not here yesterday, I just used vinegar, peroxide, and water. And if if your stuff is not rusting, either I would thought about adding like a little bit more vinegar. Then if that don't work, add a little bit more peroxide. But I just kind of play it by ear and see what I get. So I'll just save this for next time. But look at how this freezer paper turned out. This was the one I used before. So I just fold it up and use it again. And then, let me take these gloves off so I can drink some water. But so now my challenge, look, if I should choose to accept it. I cleaned off the edge of the jelly plate, most of the thick stuff that was on there. Because the soft part, it's hard to get that off. But the hard part, you just really have to peel that off. So I peeled most of that off. So I should get more of a full print on the plate. Oh, the ad break is starting. I'm going to pull some colors while the ad break is starting. Queen. I think I want to use that. So that's all I'll be doing while the ad is going on. Pulling some paint colors. Trying to see if I got anything that's beige, like, what's this? Maybe this. That's the glazing medium. Do I have any Titan buff? Oh, I know what I can use. Maybe. under. I guess we're back. I don't know. I didn't see it say it ended. I'm I'm sure I'm not gonna be able to like duplicate those colors, but I just want something that would kind of like go with it. So I think I'm gonna do like some washed out papers that look like more painterly, and then I might like put some focal points in the end. Probably gonna try to use this same stencil. Um, I was trying to think of what other stencil I can use that might give me something that would work well. Maybe the lines from that cardboard. So the imagery is not going to be the same, but I just want something that would like complement it if I use it in a collage. That's what I'm trying to achieve. And then of course I'm not ready to stop playing after I got excited about all those papers. Um, so I'm just gonna start with one little piece for now. I'll probably cut some more. I thought I had another piece that was already cut that I didn't use last time, but I don't know what it is. I don't have no music on. Man, oh man, oh man. I guess I talked enough. It wasn't a lot of quiet moments. So I got some of these blick paints, like in the raw umber. What's this? Sienna, burnt sienna, and I think the other one is raw umber. And I got Titan buff and some of the metallic colors and quin oxide, just to see if I can get something that would, like if I use in the collage that would complement it. But I'm gonna do like a lot of, like I said, watered down pieces. This first one is just really to get this purple off. And I'm probably gonna try to take this off on some paper. I'm just gonna put some white on it. It probably is gonna take a few pulls to get it to loosen up, so that's fine. So some of this might come off on the light paper that I'm working with too. But like I said, it's easier to get the hard stuff off because you just peel that off. You can't really peel the really thin layers off. And of course you could do this with your hand. I'm just trying to see if I can get it all to kind of make contact. This is going to have it do it a little bit more uniform than my hand would. So it's getting some of the purple up. A lot of it actually. Some of the more stubborn pieces might take a couple more pulls to come up. almost came up. I might be able to pull that one off now since it's lifted. Um, so let's kind of start with the burnt sienna. Have I even opened these? I might not be starting with any of these because I don't want to spend seconds and minutes trying to open it. See if I can put a hole in it with this. Okay, I can, and then pull it up. Oh, I think it was open. It just was difficult to come out. So I kind of think of this when I think of that rusted color. This burnt sienna. If I use another color, I'll wipe that off. This might be too thick, but I'm gonna wet it with water. I don't know if this is gonna work. But that's what experimenting is about, to see if you're gonna get what you're trying to get. Gotta make sure I pick up the one with water and not the one with the rusting solution. Let's see if we get something that's watercolor like. I'm just trying to see what this color looks like wet. And that's probably too wet. But what it is going to do, the folds and stuff, let me see, they might stay in there. And it's just a plain piece of paper. What I was going to suggest or do is take this off and see if I can do some type of design, maybe with the raw sienna, but it's probably too wet to do what I'm trying to do. I don't even know what I'm trying to do. I just know I want to make some papers to complement. I don't know, maybe using the regular imagery that I always use will look good with those papers. But just using subtler colors. That's not bad if that's what I was going for, but it's not. I don't think this paint is gonna work, so I'm gonna have to just use the regular paint. It's too thick. It's too thick. Oh, I know. I do have like a light gray color that might give me some of the effects, but I'm gonna still have to use some stencils. I just don't know which ones I want to use that will complement those what I was working with. Other than that one with the all over design. Oh, I was like, what is that? Somebody's cutting the yard. I think that's our house. I think that's the house next door. Or doing something with a lawnmower. think I just better go back to doing what I know and just use the colors. I have another stencil up here that I think will work. Come on now. Don't start weed eating now. I think that is our yard. I hope it's not too much of a disturbance. And I hope you can still hear me. Maybe that. Or maybe I'll use this one. Cause I like that this kind of gives you a focal point. Let's see what we could come up with. Only way to do it is like to experiment and the keep it going, to not overthink it. I hate that I put that paint on here because it was kind of sticky. So now to get it off, I might have to do something, do a few things. I don't know. That's why I kind of put that white on there to see if it would like clean it off. I'm gonna get a baby wipe and see if I can get these little sections out. It's mostly clean, so that's just like a cleanup print. But let me see if I can baby wipe these little thick areas out. Sometimes you can. So once you grab them, they'll come off. Like I said, I'm just having trouble operating these nails that I don't know if I want to keep. I like them, but it's difficult for me to do anything. So maybe even if it don't come off, if I get it, okay, that one came off. I was gonna say if I get it real wet, maybe to come off with the next print, I'll do another cleanup print. And as you can see, you don't have to be too gentle. You're not gonna just ruin it just rubbing it like this. That's kind of how I got most of the edge off, the part that wasn't coming up. I just kind of took a baby wipe and started scrubbing it so it would come off. Some of these places, like where it was thin, you couldn't grab it. Is that one thin? But now it's coming up. Okay. I always have like a empty cup up here that I use for like to put small trash in until I can throw it in the big trash can. Like these used up wipes and stuff, I just put it in a throwaway cup. That's what I'm talking about, like a paper cup. So stuff like this. I don't know. I was so excited about opening the papers, I didn't even turn the music on. It took everything in me not to try to open them up last night, because sometimes I do, because they drop better flat than they do folded. So like sometimes the day that I dye them, I come back at night and unfold them and let them dry so they'll dry quicker. I think this is pretty good. The rest of this, since it's wet, will probably come off with the print. I'll do a couple more on paper. Let's just do, I'm gonna do white through that stencil. Try to do like a light white to see if I can get a resist. I don't know if it would have worked. Sometimes it does work, but Let's just play around and see what we get today. I guess, I don't know, I guess I really don't need focal points because those pages will be focal points. But maybe I need, it has to be really, really light and thin. Let me see if it'll go over there. Because I want like the see-through parts to disappear, if that makes sense. I don't know if this is going to go through this stencil. It's still kind of wet. I didn't really get anything. Yeah, you really can't see anything from the white. But maybe if I can get all of this to come out on top of it, that would look good. It's hard to see. So I'm going to use metallic white, I think. Or do I want to just use some glazing liquid? We're going to try with the metallic white on top of this and see what it looks like. And since it's thin, I was thinking maybe I should mix the metallic white with the glazing medium. But I did want some of the metallic to show through. But I want it to be really translucent. Good thing about this is these caps allow the paint to come out freely and not to dry in the cap, but it dries on top of the part. But you just have to peel that out, and then it comes out freely after that. So that's why I like putting them on these bottles. Um, Let me see if I see one of my other rollers. This one isn't rolling very well. Put this in that cup. Oh, I see it. Yeah, that one isn't rolling very well at all. Okay, yeah, this one is a lot better. I don't know if this gonna do anything. Yeah, put it halfway on and halfway off. See if any of it comes off on here. I don't know if I knew what I was trying to achieve, which I don't. Even though this didn't come off well, this still making a very interesting piece of paper. With, like I said, with all the folds that stayed in it, and just with the white on top of it, it looks a lot better. So it could be used like as a background. So it's just white. I need to figure out something that I could put on top of it that would show good. I think black would be too dark. Payne's gray would be too blue. I wish I had a real, real dark gray. See, I had it shading gray, but I don't think this is thick enough to do anything. I use this mostly on my canvases with with glazing medium, like when I want to lightly cover an area but not completely cover it. This one must haven't been open. Oh, it hasn't. And I don't know what one that has been opened is. I'm like, no wonder it wouldn't come out. See, this is real liquidy. Let me mix it with a little bit of white to make it a little bit thicker. Yeah, see, this is real thin. I mean, real loose. So I don't know if it will produce much of a color. I'm going to do that through that stencil on paper and see what it looks like. Let's leave it back to this one. I just want to see what it looks like as a color. That's the only thing about this stencil with small spaces. It is a pretty color though. Is that it's hard to get anything to come through it. Most of the time you get just a second image again, which you can barely see because it's so light. What colors to play with today. Today is truly going to be an experiment. Maybe I will try the Payne's Gray. Because some Payne's Grays are blacker than others. But I think Golden's Payne's Gray is more blue. Let's see. Let's just see what happens. That's the only way to know for sure. I'm going to put it on top of this to see if I get any contrast. Or much of a contrast. I was trying to let that dry. And trying to see if I have any other like browns or that will work with what I was trying to accomplish. And that one's not open either. Uh-oh. Yeah, that wasn't dry. See how this Payne's Gray is more blue? It's a pretty color, don't get me wrong, but when you want something that's more black, and I haven't been to the store to buy more black golden paint. I thought I had a small one, but I'm not seeing one. Even though, you know, I ran out of the big one. What else do I have that might work? I don't think I have a black in the Blix. I don't know. I guess I just, since I'm not getting what I'm trying to get, I'll just play with some colors. I do like this Payne's Gray though. It's just real subtle. There wasn't any contrast at all. And then again, I might have let it dry too quickly. Um, Let me just do what I do, I guess, since I can't find the colors I'm looking for. I'll just make some pretty papers. Um, Let me see something. I keep saying, let me see something. Then I got an idea with this Payne's, not Payne's Gray, Titan Bud. Um, let's see if I can get this one to come out. That's why I replaced most of these with caps. Uh, yeah. I don't know. It's like it gets some type of film and then they don't want to come out. But it's clearly paint that's still good in there. And this thing is difficult to clean. So I normally just put one of these tops on them. This isn't gonna do too much. I wanted to make that texture again. Let me see if I can make the line texture. I'm wondering what I can mix with this that would give me like a subtle color that's close to what I'm looking for. So I can get some of the lines on here. I'm gonna pull this up with that nickel gold, nickel azo, and see what this looks like. I'm gonna try to let it dry for a few minutes and see what that looks like. Oh, I know what I said I was gonna do. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna do that first. Let it dry. I'm gonna go over with one of the sheer colors. One of these sheer black colors. This right here. I just want to see what it looks like. This what's this? What is it called? I can't see. I know it's flash. Oh, black flash. I think that says black flash. And then I have also silver flash that I was going to try to use. But I thought I had a pearl one too. So I just want to see what happens. It's probably not going to look how I want it to look because that Payne's Gray is also mixed in there. Let me see. I know I'm not going to be patient enough to let this dry. That's one of my problems. So that's what it looks like. It's still kind of tacky wet. But we're experimenting. We're just experimenting. So I'm just going to go with the flow. So I was going to use this, let this dry, and then put the azo gold on top of it. I just want to see what kind of colors we get. These are hard to push. They're kind of like the, if you're familiar with Blick paints, that bottle is hard to push like that one, like the Blick paints. I like the Blick paints, but their bottles are so thick and so difficult to pull. So this is way too much paint. So let's start off with that fact. It's too much, but this is a pretty color. See how, I don't know, if it's considered like a bronzy color, but it has black in it, but it also has another color. But I didn't mean to put that much on there. I just want it to be barely noticeable, but I put way too much. So let me see if I can get most of it off. But of course you can still see the lines through it. I like how that looks on the plate. So now I'm wondering if I should just pull this up. See how bronzy it looks? Bronzy or brassy, I don't know. But I wanted some color, so that's why I was going to use the nickel gold. To see if it gives me some like a red color. This would look so much better if it went through like a stencil. I'm just going to put a very little. I probably should thin it with some glazing medium, but I'm not. We're going to see what happens. See what we get. Well, you know what? In the places I don't have it, I'm going to put a little bit of glazing medium just so I can hopefully make sure it's wet enough to come up. So that's the only reason why I'm using a little bit of the glazing medium. See if we get anything. I love the way it looks on the plate. I'm going to do it on here. Trying to see what's the painted side. Do it up here. See what we get, if anything. Trying to make sure I go to the edges. Maybe that way the paint won't build up on the edges. I don't know why the paint builds up on the edges and the whole thing doesn't print, and that's the only place where they build up. So let's see what we get, if anything. Some of it is not coming up, but some of it is. But it still has that blue in it. So again, it's making interesting colors. Then I'll just go back with the and try to get the rest of it up. Trying to make sure it doesn't tear. Show you what we got. You can barely, well, in some places you can barely see it. I'm gonna just put some of that nickel azo and see if I can pull the rest of this up. I think it would have probably been more interesting without, well, I don't know, I was going to say without the blue underneath, but I don't know if it would have been more interesting without the blue underneath. Maybe I'll put this black down first. The black flash, and then go over it with the white and put the lines. I'm gonna try that next. I mean, that's the only way I know what's gonna happen is by, like I said, experimenting. Because I have an idea in my head what I want to like pair with those papers, but I don't know what that is yet in actual, you know, in literal terms. That's why I'm trying these colors. And then still a lot of it didn't come up. So yeah, I'm gonna try putting the black down first and letting that kind of dry. Still getting some of that blue and a little bit of interesting, but I like that I can still kind of see the lines. I got my thinking cap on, trying to think. Let's try that, what I just said. Try, even though all of this is still on there, let's try putting this down first. Letting this kind of dry, if I can get a thin enough layer. Then putting the white on top of that and see if we can have the lines, have some of this show through. Um, I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. Trying to put it on a little bit thicker because I do want it to be a little bit darker under here. But then you're gonna have some other stuff happen because all of this stuff is still on there. We'll see. I don't know. I like the way the lines look here, right here. And I like the undercolor now. It's just so sticky. I wish I had something else in that color. That wasn't as thick and sticky as that one, because I really do like that color. I was trying to put the rust, so I need some dark, the rust next to it, and see. I don't know what I can add with it to make it a little darker. I got some paint on my hand, but of course that happens all the time when you jelly printing or painting papers. That is so still so sticky. So today is really is experimental. So now it's more mixing with it. But maybe it will make more interesting lines. Let me put a little bit more. Maybe it needed to mix with it to do anything, to make that color do anything. Trying to see. Oh, that's what it looks like on the back. So it's still a lot of blue on there. If I can get all that to come up, that would be pretty. But I don't know if I can get all of that to come up. That would be pretty if I can get it all to come up. In order to get it all to come up, I'm probably going to have to put the gold on there. Let that dry and put some white on the back, because it's going to take like a heavier paint to pull it off. A lot of times this color will pull the paint off really well, but maybe with all of these layers, I need to let it dry first and then put some white behind it and try to pull it up. So now it should have some of this red in between some of the lines somewhere in the background. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, that was loud. I was gonna cut a fresh piece of this paper to try to use that on this. To try to put it up on that. Because if it does all come up, I want it on its own sheet. I don't know. I'm thinking of either 8x8 crater boards. Well, 8x8 and maybe some 4x4 ones. And then another thing I might do is like maybe like stamp these papers, because like I said, once you wet them, and I think if you use gloss medium, they also, if this white disappears, and it, like on some of the pieces, it can go on top of it. This plate looks so grungy and pretty, but am I gonna get all of that? I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. I think, I'm trying to think of other colors that I can use that's not in the russet. Maybe teal will go good with those papers. Some imagery in teal. This might be too much paint. Let's just see if we can get it to come up. I'll get that trying to get this so I can try to get them edges, get it down on the edges too, not just in the middle. I should probably try to leave it a few minutes to see if it adheres. So let's see what we're gonna get. So let me leave that for a few seconds. See if we can get most of it to come up. I've been working on my book, the one that I'm doing the weave back on. I got it, I think I showed it yesterday. I worked on it a little bit more yesterday, but not much. So this is how it's looking. I've still got a long way to go. But I think I'm gonna use like some of the thicker ones that cover more ground, like this green. I can't wait to finish it. shuffle that I had on my desk, but I don't see that I kind of wanted to use. But I might have taken it off the desk. Well, let's see if we can pull this up. See what happens. Well, some of it is coming up. It seemed like in the middle, well, I don't know, I can't really say the middle. Some of the sections is not coming up, but some of it is. I'm gonna probably do that again, but it's not gonna have a blue, but it'll have that black bronzy color. And at least most of the edges are coming up good. See, this is what we got. A lot of that blue was still on there. And then you can see some of the black, but mostly you can see the lines. That's what I like. I like the lines. I can't wait till it dries. Trying to think of what is this, that blue, or is this that gray that I put down there? I don't know. So maybe I got I just saw it like a burnt umber, a real dark brown. I just saw it and then I put it back down because I thought it might be too dark. Light burnt umber. So this might be the same color, just in golden. I'm gonna put this down first. I had a darker brown too, but I don't see it. Like I said, I thought it might be too dark, so I just put it back down. Let's try this color. Oh, no I didn't. Here it is. I pulled it out. Oh, they both the same. So this is that same color that was in that dark color that I used before, but it was in a different paint. So let's see what it looks like with this one. I did this because I want to put this on the bottom layer, because maybe it'll come through like that blue did. So that's why I was thinking about using this first, putting this on the bottom layer. Let me put a little bit more. I thought I had a darker brown too though. Well, maybe it was this I was looking at. So I'm wondering if this will come through like the blue did, is what I'm trying to accomplish here. Like we have all that blue on the top, so maybe we'll have all of this color on the top. This is really kind of like the only way to know if yes it will work, no it won't work. For sure is by experimenting and doing it to see if it'll work or if you like the outcome. Oh, here's the brown. It's a raw umber. So I'll use this one next and see. Yeah, I thought I had a darker brown. Okay, so this is the raw umber. And of course, I'm not gonna be able to let this dry. You'll just be sitting here watching paint dry. Uh, that's not exciting. I'm thinking about doing some dyeing with the turmeric. That makes a good color. I've never done it before, but that looking at those pages and looking at like the yellow color that came out with that tea. So I'm thinking turmeric. I heard it kind of makes kind of like a yellowish color. So I might use that the next time I do some rusting, which is going to be soon again because I like the way those papers came out. And I might do like some, like try to get certain prints. Like I said, remember I said I wanted to do like some of those shapes all over a page. Like I've done it before and try to get that shape all over the page and see what that would look like as a full page. The only other way I could do it, well, I could do it when I scan it in also, manipulate it like in Photoshop and have it all over the page. But I would love to see if I can get a rusted page like that. Honestly, I would love to see if I can get a piece of rusted silk like that where the design is all over the page. That one I think I let dry too much. Me and my talking. Um, I'm debating what color to put next. If I do the black or if I just go straight. But if I don't do the black, I won't have any darkness. I don't know what that sound was. I don't know what that was. It sounded like something popped, but sometimes those water bottles, they do that as they expand a little bit. But I don't know what that sound was. Um, this is one of those times when I kind of wish I had something in the background. Then I can do this through a stencil and it would look pretty good through a stencil. Oh, I wanted to use that big stencil and see what it looked like through that. I keep moving stuff and forget where I put it. Oh man, come on now, don't be one of those days. I just had it. Because I know it's not going to go through this little stencil. Oh, I see it, I see it, I see it. It's underneath papers. This one makes kind of like a African design, kind of. I think I might do this through the stencil Anyway, because like I said, the background part, is gonna disappear. Um, I'm gonna mix this with the this is that metallic white. I'm gonna mix this with this. So this is how I experiment, especially like I said, when I'm trying to figure things out. I'll use these papers regardless, even if it doesn't come out how I intend. But I don't think I'm gonna do the white. I think I'm just gonna try to go through this stencil and see what happens. See what it looks like. Just that part of it is not gonna show because I'm doing it on this paper. But the part of it will. See if I can get most of it to come up. See what it looks like. I want more of it to come up on the paper as much as possible. It was still leaving some in the holes. Oh, it's an ad break. I have mixed feelings about the ad break. It says the community is back. Um, I didn't even notice the ad had started. If it started, I don't know. Twitch be twitching. But that didn't really do anything. The part that I did pull up, I'll let you see it. So I was trying to see if I could get the rest of it to come up. But it's not looking like the rest of it is going to come up. It probably dried too much. I should have put a stronger paint on it, like white. But I just put some more of that Azo Gold. So not all of it is going to come up. When you're trying to pull up thick stuff, you need thick paint. So like what's left, I'm probably gonna go over that with white. Some of the paper is sticking too. So this is like what came up first, which wasn't too interesting. And then this, which is still not really too interesting, but some of the stuff came up. You just can't see it because it's on top of this busy piece. I'm thinking I should put something on this to make that less busy. I wish I had like some circles or something that I could just lay on here. And then, you know, the circles would still be the busy, but I don't have anything like that. Doesn't work in that way. All of mine is, you know, the circle cut out. I don't know. So it'd be kind of like the opposite. That's probably what you would get. Well, no, all of this would be whatever color, but I'm trying to get the opposite. Oh, I know what to do. I'm tripping. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not what I want. I think that's what I'm going to do next time. Cut out some shapes so I can just lay some shapes on there. I think that's what I want to do. I have some of those somewhere. I just don't know right off the bat like where they are. But they were some that I purchased. But I think I might cut out some shapes, like some big circles, small circles, and just lay them on the plate to try to get what I'm trying to accomplish. Let me see if I can get this off with some white. Because unlike last week when I was making all the pretty papers, I'm not liking nothing I'm producing today. Probably because I need to use some of my old imagery. I was just going to show you some of the pages. Let me roll that down and let that moisten this up and show you some of the pages we made like in some of the prior weekend. Almost every Sunday I do some jelly printing. This was a little bit different. I just started out. I'm just going to put some white paper because it's not really coming up with the other paper, and let this kind of dry on here. See if I can get more of it to come up. I do like the color that's mixing this on the back. That's like close to the color that I was trying to get. But last weekend or this Sunday before, these are some of the pages we made. This is how what my work normally looks like. But this was just like play. I didn't have a project in mind for these. So these are just play, and these were all stencils and masks that I cut out. That's what I like to use. And this one was a purchase stencil that I used, like with some numbers and letters on it. I think I did that one last Sunday. And like some of these, like the last couple of Sundays, I've been doing jelly printing. So this is one on like some of this brown paper. Yeah, I normally work with a lot of color, but I'm trying to do something a little bit different. So that's why, you know, the struggle is real today. But I have to experiment to get to what I'm looking for. So I don't remember what week, because a lot of these I haven't used. I used some of it, like see this one is cut, so I used some of this piece in a collage. I'm gonna make some bright collages too, but I'm just trying to do something like a little subtle to like work with the rusted papers in this one. So this is what we normally do around here on Sundays. These were still experiments. I took some colors, like this is the color that I mixed, this green, and then, you know, I put them together and kind of say, I wonder what would look good with this one. This one I cut a a small piece of this off too to use as collage. I like this purple and green. I like this a lot. I need to do some more of those. Oh, this one is one. This one I didn't particularly love at all. But I'm sure when I'm doing a collage, like something like this right here would look good on something, you know, with more collage. But this was a color that I wasn't using, and I wanted to see how it looked with what I was working with. I really like the purple though, but on this end it's not a lot of contrast. And then this one I really like too. This one I really like. And to be honest, probably these types of colors might look good with the rusted material. Only thing is I don't have any more of this black. This was the golden black, and they didn't do this with any of the other blacks, so I need to get some more black to try to get these layers to look like this. So do I have more? I've been jelly printing, like I said, every Sunday. A lot of these are just like the Braille out pages. I use these to make pockets in my books. So that's like Braille out. And of course I use a piece of these to make collage. I had a few more big pieces. That's what I was trying to get to. So yeah, all of these are just the pages where I was bringing off the paint. But I still use them in my work, especially in my books, to make pockets, and then I come back over them and jelly print some more. This is also another one that I've cut some of the pieces and use in the collage. But so I just wanted to show these if you new here and you like, what is she doing? Does she know what she's doing? Yeah, I do. When I know what I'm doing, I make prints like this all the time. So I was trying to like experiment with colors that I don't normally use. I love this green and purple. I think I just need to go shopping for some different colors to get what I think is gonna work. And I know I need black. Let's see if we can get this to come out. A lot of this is sticking. I don't know why this jelly plate is sticky today. I don't know if it's still sticky from that first paint that I put on there that was sticky. But yeah, it's very sticky. So some of it is coming up, but some of it isn't. I might need to, sometimes when your jelly plate get in a certain state, you have to, what do they call it? Treat it or something like that. They have stuff straight from the Jelly Arts place, but you can also use like baby oil or mineral oil to like go over the whole thing and let that dry on it, and then that normally gets it back in a good state. I might need to do that. because it's real sticky. And it, it normally has a good give and stuff, but it's normally not sticky. Now I do like this color better. It's like more closely to the rustic color. So like some of it stuck and some of it came up. But this color is like more like what I was going for. And then also this like looks like some of the background color that's in some of the papers. Let me mix something on a plate. I think I need to do like some solid backgrounds, and then paint on top of them. Jelly print on top of them to get anything that looks anywhere decent. So I was gonna do like part of it, just the Titan buff, and part of it the Titan buff mix with that color. And then maybe if I stencil on top of it. So that's not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go over this busyness because I'm not going to be able to do anything with that unless I cut it off and cut it out in small pieces. And let's see what that looks like. It didn't cover it too well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to treat the jelly plate, clean it off real good, put some either baby oil. I have baby oil or mineral oil on it, and let it dry to treat the surface so it can produce again. But that, even though that's full coverage, that still looks better. It's not as busy. Like I can cut this out and use it as a background at minimum. I found my texture thing also, my other texture thing. Let me see what it looked like with some texture. Let me try that dark brown color. Oh, wait a minute. Let me try this first. The burnt umber. I have these colors, but I rarely just use them unless I'm doing something on canvas and I need that color. But like for jelly printing, I normally use all of those loud colors or more colorful, not in the neutral tones is what I guess what I'm trying to say. Those are like more of my cup of tea. Trying to see if I can put some texture in this, and then just pick up some of this texture in places to see if I could save this piece so I can use it. in collage. Part of it dried. I don't know. I think I need some teal. I think I need some teal in that. I'm not a neutral girly. I guess that's what I'm figuring out. I'm not a neutral woman. I'm a colorful woman. So these neutrals, they've been a struggle for me. But so I'm just mainly trying to say that sometimes you have to try stuff just to see that you don't like it or that you do like it. You just kind of have to be fearless and go for it. Whether it's going to come out good or not come out good, you will never know that if you don't just try it and see what happens. Yeah, I think I need to go shopping for some more colors. I think that's what I figured out. Because I know I need that black. That's like a given. And then I probably need to, I've done this one before. Well, no, I haven't. I think this was the new one I bought. So I had bought a second one because when my niece is here, we jelly print together. So this is a newer one. I think this is the newer one. So I've never like treated it. I think just for the sake of saving this paper, I'm going to play with some teals. Yeah. Just so it's something that I can use. Because right now, I don't see myself using it as is. Come on, teal. Come on out. Clean this top off. Yeah, I would probably use parts of it. I'm sorry, that is so loud next to that microphone. That was me opening these baby wipes. Trying to clean this top. Supreme! Thank you for the raid. Oh my goodness. All my peeps are here. My peeps are here. My community is here. Hey, Crafty Cub. Hey, Linda's Crochet. Supreme, you got me today. Thanks for the check-in, Vixen. Hey, Vixen. Thank y'all for coming in. I'm Random Art. I do mostly jelly print. Hey, Ship. Hey, Sparky. Pugwash. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for coming in. I'm trying to experiment with some jelly print today. I just showed like some of the ones that I've been doing like in the prior weeks. Let me show those because these are more exciting. So every Sunday I jelly print. Thank you for the alert, Vixen. Thank you for coming in at all. Hey, World Class Hooker, how you doing? Thank you. So today I was trying something different to try to get some more to work with some rusted papers that I did yesterday. So like I said, every Sunday I jelly print. So these are from some of the past weeks, and some of them I've used, some of them I haven't. These are like the Braille off sheets. I keep these to use also in my books and stuff like that. We have a mic today. Yes, Yes, we have a mic today. I think we, I think we've had a mic almost since that time. And thank you for that time and today. So yeah, these are some of the ones I've been making the prior week. Um, this one is not one of my favorites, but it's all right. These are like my favorites, like these purples and greens and yellows. This is like where I think they sing. Um, I like this too, even though it's a little bit bright, but I'll still find a way to use these in collage. So this one I've used some of it also, as you can see. I think I used some of the pink portion in a collage already, but that's what I'm gonna do with them. Do some artwork collages. This one I added a little bit of red to this one. I like the bright green and teal. I like that one too. I need to make some more in that color. So this was like on some brown paper. And then this one was done with a stencil. I was trying to make some grungy looking lettering and numbers. And then this one. But the ones I'm doing today are kind of like an experiment. Yesterday, let me see if I can get them. Yesterday we rusted some papers. And today I unfolded them. So these are the rusted papers that we made yesterday. Move my jelly plate to the side. Really pretty. Thank you. Like the bright, but so this is what I did yesterday. I folded some metal pieces, and some of them are still like stuck to the paper. So I normally let them dry completely, and then I take them off if they don't want to come off. But all of these are rusted. Smiley face. It kind of looks like a smiley face, but so that's what I did yesterday. I folded all these papers and put the rust and the ink and the coffee dye. I like to do it all at the same time, the coffee and tea dye. This one, oh, it came off. It was stuck to this one still, so I had left it on there, because when they dry completely, then they fall off. And by folding them, you get the rust to go through all the sides. So some of them are more rusted than others. Like this one is mostly just coffee dye. But the rusting solution, it turns like a gray color. So that's what you'll see. Like if you don't see rust, you'll see the gray color from the rusting solution. This one was also stuck. I'm going to leave that one on there. But the ones that are stuck, I leave them on there and let them dry. So this is from this piece of rust on the other side. Looks like a peacock. This one, it kind of does. And then, but this metal piece kind of makes also like a flower in the middle. So this one is also really stuck. But this is like one of the best ones that came out, because this color is from this rusted piece. And as you can see, the rust and the paper, it's not much difference. You can barely tell what's the rusted piece, which is still stuck to it, and what's the paper. So this one really came out nicely. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. So when I take it loose, it's really gonna have a lot of rust. And some of them are more rusted than other ones. This one was done with tea. It was a tea bag folded in the middle, and you could kind of see where the tea bag was. And then this one is also stuck to it. So like I said, the ones that are stuck to it, I let it dry. But this is what we did yesterday. Well, I actually did the down, and thank you. She said, wow, the world class hooker. So yeah, I let them dry. What are the pieces that are stuck? Rusted metal. These are the pieces that I use to rust it, and sometimes they get stuck, and you just have to let it completely dry, and then it'll come off without tearing the paper. If I take it off now, it's gonna tear the paper. So I just let it completely dry. Yeah, these are rusted pieces that I use in my work to rust papers. So like I said, some of them are more rusted than other ones. This one is not that rusty, but it's got a lot of grunge. So I also like when they get real grungy. And like I said, some of them are lighter than this one. Like this one is more rusted on this side than it is on the back side. But I like to fold them because I also like the subtle rusting places. So sometimes I'll use the front if I want more grunge, but if I want less grunge, I'll use the back. Um, so I did a whole lot of them yesterday, but so this one has more rust. And then there's another thing. Sometimes when the I'm trying to see if you can see it. See this like bubbly looking when the peroxide is next to the rusted piece. Sometimes it makes bubbles, and those bubbles stay in there. You can see it on one of the ones where I added some dye. My rusting solution, yes, love that texture pattern. Isn't it nice? This one doesn't have a lot going on, but the grunge, the grunge is what I like. If I don't get the rust, I still get the grunge, or I get a subtle pattern. This one was just coffee dyed. I just like put my coffee, my cup of coffee on it to make some coffee rings, and I just sprayed it. I just did a lot of experimenting yesterday. This one was rusted, but it's a lot subtler than some of the other ones. Some of them are subtle, and some of them have a lot. And then this one I coffee dyed through a stencil first before I added the rusted elements to it, and then some of them I added ink. Like you can see the rust on this one. This one I say look like a person, like with the head and the body and the legs. So and this is another one that I dyed with the ink before I put the rest of the elements. Does look like a person. Looks like an alien, yes, or a spaceman, like it has one of those space helmets on. That's what I was saying when I was looking at it. It looks like a spaceman. So this one I did with ink and coffee through a stencil first before putting a little rusted element on it. It's not a lot of rust didn't come out on here. This one did, but this piece didn't rust that much, but it still made some interesting texture. Your work is so beautiful. Thank you. This one rusted with like a dragonfly shape. Looks like lace. That's why I like this stencil. And just with coffee, the bottom part is just coffee, and then the top part is ink, and then I just folded it and laid some rusted pieces on it. And then the back is sometimes almost just as beautiful as the front, making me have to choose which side I want to use if I'm going to use it in collage. Have a great time. Thank you. I will leave alert. Thank you, Supreme. Y'all, thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all so much. Y'all just don't know how much I appreciate seeing my people that I go see. Sometimes, Senna Queen. Oh, see you, Queen Supreme. Yeah, she is the queen. She is the queen. So this one is another with that stencil and some rusted pieces. I can't wait for y'all to see my favorite piece. It's coming up soon. Thank you for the subscription, Cub. Thank you so much. I honestly appreciate that. Like a dandelion, you are very welcome. Thank you so much. So this is one of the ones that I use with the ink. Later, Queen Sparky. What was that? I don't know what that was. I don't know. Some of the sounds I know what they are. Some of them I don't. It was alert. Oh, okay. It came late. Thank you so much, Cub. Maybe your alert was late. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm like, what was that? But this one is it's got a lot of rust in. This the back. So, like I said, sometimes the back is more exciting, and then this one you can also see that bubbling a little bit with the red ink. But I can't wait to use these in collage. Yeah, sometimes they are delayed. I'm just glad mine are working at all, because for the longest time they wasn't working at all. And then this one also, you can also see the bubbling. It's very light. Once this dries, because this is still wet, you'll be able to see it better, because a lot of these are still wet. That's why they're still like stuck to the metal pieces. So this one has just got a little subtle rusting. I also have some fabric pieces in here. Oh, it's coming up next. So this one I think I added some black and white ink to it when I was doing that one. Then see it goes through. That's why I like to fold them when I do it. So this is the fabric. This was white silk, and then I put some rusted pieces and some ink on this one. So this is one of my favorites. I love this. I can't wait to use it. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, I cannot wait to use it. And this rust is not going to come out. The fabric, I wash them like in a wash machine, and then this I'll let hang dry because it's silk, so I wouldn't dry that one. But imagine, oh, that would be so beautiful. And I have enough silk to make one. That would be so beautiful. I was just experimenting this time to see how the silk will come out, but I have a lot left. That would be so beautiful. Yes, or a dress or a shirt. That would be beautiful. Y'all giving me some ideas of stuff I could do. But this is another one with some of that big rusted, and then in the background where I coffee dyed it first before putting the metal piece on it. But most of them came out really, really, really nice. This one was tea stained. The tea stain was, I just like wrap them in a tea bag. So that's what this is. So you can see where the tea bag was. And then they're just like lightly stained. Some of them I dip them in a tea, like the one that's coming up after this one. So this one is pretty. It has a lot of rust. This was also a tea bag one. Yeah, see, the tea bag was right here. Then some of that ink and that bubbling. But this is the one I like the most. This one I dipped all the way in the tea. And I like it because it covers the whole page. And then it still got some of the rusted elements on it, but this one came out really, really nice. So this was probably one of the only ones that I dipped completely in the tea, because I had folded it small enough. This was also wrapped in a tea bag. I mean, yeah, wrapped over a tea bag. So that one came out nice. Hey, Arts, how you doing? If y'all haven't seen Arts lately, he shaved his beard. He looks like a young man again. A young whippersnapper. So I'm just showing some of the rusted papers from yesterday. You said not. Does look like a young whippersnapper. So this one was over a cheese grater that I bought from a antique store. Was already rusted. So I said, let me see how they look. It does look like a honeycomb. Just cleaning, but just cleaning out the gutters. So yeah, this came out really, really, really nice. I was pleasantly surprised. And to be honest, like these shapes on the bottom, these are also from the cheese grater, even though they were like folded on top of it. Got some D&D here in a bit. Oh, okay, that's a great idea. I bet you could find fun things at antique stores. I've been looking. So when I saw that tree cheese grater and saw that it was already rusted, I said, let me see what that would do. So a lot of these rusted pieces, I like got them off of Etsy, except for the washers. The washers, I rusted them myself. But yeah, so this one also has some of that stencil, sprayed stencil background before I rusted it. Is that coffee? Coffee. Some of it is coffee, some of it is tea, but like the gray color that you see, that's caused by the rusting medium. But most of it, most of the dye, other than the sometimes I use black ink and sometimes I use red ink, but all the rest of it is coffee or tea. So this was another one that I sprayed through a stencil with coffee before I put the rusting pieces on it. So like all of these are gonna look good either in collage or in another book. Coffee, tea, or me. So this one has a lot of black a lot of black ink on it. I'ma sick yummy on you. Watch what I tell you. Watch when I tell her to come get you. So, like I said, some of them are lighter. I do have another piece of fabric, but they all have... Okay, I'll stop. I knew that would make you stop. So if she come get you, it's just her. It ain't me. I didn't tell her. It's just her. So yeah, some of them when I put it down, I like to put some black ink and let it wick from the rust to see what it's gonna do. But yeah, I got a lot of papers to work with, either by collage or just making book pages. Cause I did this on like a heavier weight paper, 28-pound. Yum scares me. Yum is quite innocent. She just gets on you sometime. This is that other piece of silk that I did. So it's not as, it doesn't have as much going on as that other one, but it's still pretty. I really like the edge, around the edge. So I'm gonna be doing some more fabrics. I know I have some cotton and I do have some more silk. So I might just rust fabric next time. So this one has that same stencil, but also some of the rust coming through. I think this is from like the rusted can. Some of the ones on the top, I laid a rusted can on them and it made like slight lines. So this one is just rust, more black ink, and then more of that little indentation from the can. And then this one I really like. This one you can really see the bubbling I'm talking about. See that on the edge when the peroxide comes in contact with the metal, it bubbles. And then this one has a little bit of that same stencil. Like I said, the back is just as beautiful as the front, so I'm going to be in a dilemma when I get ready to use it, unless I use it in a book. But some of them I want to use in collage, like that one. This right here is like a bottle cap that's been smashed and rusted, so I like to use that because it makes a subtle circle. So yeah, anything you can find that will rust. Like I said, what I use is white vinegar, peroxide, and water. I love that you use of the bottle cap. Yes, I had another piece that had a bottle cap, but I probably forgot to mention it, because I like that bottle cap too. But so yeah, I have a lot of rusted shapes that I like to use in my work. But I was trying to make some jelly prints that would kind of like complement these, but I think that I don't have the right colors. I don't have a lot of like beiges or anything like that. Something that would complement these. I don't even have like the right red, I think. So I think I need to go shopping for some more colors to make some colors that would complement those when I use them in collage. We have some old rusty metal tools like files, saws. Ooh, the saw blades would look wonderful in that. That's what kind of made me buy these big shapes, because I wanted something big that had like some interesting designs. Bet they could make cool patterns, yes. So when I go to an antique store, I'm really looking for rusted stuff. And like that cheese grater, that was like a plus, and I jumped on that. I was just getting ready to add some teal to these, because like I said, these are not really working out how the other ones were, like, you know, the more colorful ones. So I was like to use this. I was experimenting with color, trying to get something that's close to the rusty color. I like the colors, I just don't like the images that were coming out. So the colors will work, but the images, I don't have like my regular imagery that I normally use. Even a rusty garden tools. I'm giving you some ideas. All right, that would be awesome. I'm giving myself ideas, cause I'm really thinking about trying to find some saw blades. I wonder if my brother got some rusty saw blades outside that he would part with, that he would let me have. I'm just adding some texture to this one. I'm gonna try to go through it with a stencil, but it might dry out before I get everything on it that I want on it. I thought about let me get this circular. See if I can get some of that to go through on there. This paper, how many siblings? Oh, I have one brother and a sister. I had two brothers, but one of them passed away. So it was just four of us, two girls and two boys. And me and my sister were living up north. And then shortly after one of my brothers passed, my other brother got sick. So we both moved back down south to Texas to help him. But he's 100% better. He's 100% better. But we just all moved down here. The house we stay in, you know, it was our parents' house, so it's paid for. And then we can all just kind of help each other. So that's why I say my brother might have some rusty saws out there. He like to do a lot of making fences, building fences and stuff like that. I'm glad he's doing 100% better. We just got a scare because it was like a couple months after losing one brother, so we just really got nervous, and so we just said we need to be like closer to family in case something happens. we can like help each other. So it works out for the best. Um, I don't know what we gonna get with this. We got a little something, but not quite as interesting. Well, it looks okay. It's making it look better than it did look. Yeah, my sister and her husband live in this area. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good that you moved closer to family also. I don't know. I might need to start fresh. I'm not liking that paper. I was trying to make it to where I would want to use it in collage, even though it wasn't turning out how I wanted to turn out. Yeah, it's nothing like. I mean, it's kind of cool because like all my nieces are close by. All my other family, my aunts, they're all close by. So when I originally moved up there with my sisters, because she was by herself, and so then she got a remote job so she can live anywhere. So yeah, we all just kind of help each other out. He likes to cook. He likes to grill. He likes to experiment with cooking. So we never go hungry. Yeah, cause he loves cooking and experiment with different type of recipes. Right now we kind of just discovered an air fryer, so we just love working with our air fryer, making stuff in that. And we got the kind that you can bake in. Sounds like a great guy. Yeah. Oh, we love our air fryer. Air frying is great. So we kind of like recently discovered it, and we got the kind where you can air fry, you can bake in it, you can steam. We got the Speedy, Ninja Speedy, so you can cook stuff in the bottom. Sometimes I'll like put some pasta in it and put some Alfredo sauce and put it on steam, and maybe put some other kind of meat. Oh, I mix like vegetables in it too. Yes, ours is the type that looks like a toaster oven. The door pulls down and it has a few racks that you can move around. Okay, that's good. Yeah, the air fryer has been turning out to be great. Same here. Oh, okay. You have the same kind as Cub. Um, this paper I'm using, I'm gonna show you in just a minute. I like using it because this is a book I've been working on. Right now I'm weaving the back cover, but I was just gonna show you that paper. Let me see if I can find a page. So this is the latest book that I was working on that I'm trying to finish. I don't know if you could tell when you wet that paper. See, this is a piece of it, and you can see what's going on underneath. It turns clear, so that even like where I leave the white background, when you wet it, it turns clear. Let me see if I can find a better page where I used it. So yeah, this is the book I'm working on with a lot of my jelly prints in them. So this one is a jelly print that I haven't added anything to. This one you can see a little bit, but you could kind of see the background through it. This is what they call when I found it on Amazon. It's called medical exam paper. I'm trying to find another one, but also give y'all a little peek inside the journal. Um, Cause it's a good picture in here. I mean, a good one where I used it. Oh, I know that type of paper. Yes. So when you use it, I'm gonna probably end up having to go through the whole thing just to find one piece. But these are all jelly prints that I do on paper, so I can let y'all see some of my old jelly prints. But then I come back and collage over them, and the brayer off papers is like what I make the pockets out of. That's one of my drawings. I know I put one in here. I've done so much in this book that trying to find that one little piece, because it was like some of the last things I did after I did that jelly printing session. And I like the soda scraps. I don't throw any of the scraps away. Gorgeous work as always. Hey Darth, how you doing? I'm trying to find some of that paper. This is some here where I just stamped on it, but as you can see through it. So when you wet it, and that one you could kind of see through. You can see through it. But I had one of them flower pieces that I cut out. Oh, this is it. So see how you can see what's going on behind it. And if I get it down on the paper, it can be even clearer than this. This it started to dry before I got it down. So that's why I like to use the paper. And so even like the places where you don't get paint, that part, if you wet and you put it down, it kind of blends into your collage, and where you can see what's going on in the background. Thank you. I don't know if I have any more, but this is, like I said, this is the book I'm trying to finish. But even the ones you can't see, I used that paper. So this is that paper, but it's just collage. It doesn't have a lot of see-through parts, but I love working with that paper for collage because it's so thin and it goes down so effortlessly. We did this on stream one day. I didn't let y'all see it finished. I don't know what day this was. Maybe 2 weeks ago. I drew this on stream. But I didn't show it finished where I colored in all the background. I left this part light so I can make a connection to the earrings, but I was letting it dry. Then I used a little piece back here, but I don't think I don't think I wet this part. But yeah, this paper works out really, really well. And then I still got a lot to do. The cardboard is not going to stay. Once I've woven this whole back, I take the cardboard out, and it's just going to be this woven piece. And of course I have to block it first, and then it'll stay. So that's what I've been working on. At the end, I normally do a show and tell. And sometimes I show some of the same books. I kind of just want to show what some of the rusted papers look like in a book. So I think I showed this one yesterday, but I love how they come out. Like some of them come out more rusted than others. And I was saying, like, if you go over it with like a stamp that you wet, and it has like a wet background, it'll blend in so well with the paper. So that's why I said some of the ones that I rust, I just leave them. I don't add anything else to them. Maybe this one, I think I added some gold paint. It says there's an ad coming. I have a mixed feeling about the ads. A very mixed feeling about the ads. Trying to see if there's any more rusted pieces. This one is rusted on tracing paper. So I didn't have any tracing paper to rust yesterday, but I normally like to rust some of that too. So this is some of that same stuff. I rust all types of paper. This is, I guess, graph paper. But they all come out very, very nice and very different. Just trying to find some of the rusted ones. This one was a tea stain one. And then this was some of the rusted that I also did. I think this is thicker paper. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the ads. I know some people have the turbo and they don't get the ads, or the people that subscribe. So this was also done on tracing paper, and then I stamped over it. So that's what I'm probably going to do with some of the rusted pages that I have. Like either stamp over them with black, or with a wet foam stamp with a little bit of ink on it, so it looks like watery. But sometimes when I do the rusting, I add a little bit of black ink to the rusting. I mean, I don't mean just like pour it on there. I add it to the solution, so it makes the rust shapes darker. And I think that's what I did during that rusting session. So this was also a piece rusted on tracing paper. So I think my next section is going to be fabrics and probably some more tracing paper, so I can have something to layer. I was just trying to find some of the rusted shapes so you can see how they look in action, or how I use them in the books. This one also has a faint stamp on it that you can barely see. I'm trying to see if this is the original, because some of them I scan in. I don't think this is original. I think this is from a scan that I did of some rusted papers. So even when you scan them in, all that texture shows through. This one is rusted on like a library card with some black ink. Yeah, so is this one. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a piece of paper that I scanned in, because this doesn't have any of the stuff you could feel. I don't know. It's hard to tell if this is an original or a copy. This is original. Yeah. And I don't know if you could see that bubbling around it and inside. But like I said, that comes from the peroxide. And then this slight bubbling up here. So, and then this one was rusted with the red ink also. And I'm pretty sure this was already painted before I rusted it. Love the bubbles, yes. So if you add a little bit more peroxide, well, really I didn't even add a lot. I added more vinegar and water, but it causes that bubbling, and I love seeing it. So these are slightly rusted, and some of them, like I said, I just add some gold paint to. But like this one has a little bit of bubbling around it too. makes that irregular shape. Um, Trying to see if I had another one. That one just is slightly rusted. This one was tea stained because you could see where the tea bag was, where I folded the tea bag over it. And this is probably the tea I used during that session. I got another one that really shows the bubbles. This one's on tracing paper. This one was also on tracing paper, and that one was on book page. I was trying to find that other sheet that really shows the bubbling. So this one was also done with that black ink and the red ink. So like even if you don't get rust, but even though I got a little bit of rust on the inside, it still makes an unusual shape and texture on your pages. So as you can see, the ones I showed you, not all of them had a lot of rust. Oh, this is the one. See the bubbling on this one? So that one had a lot of bubbling. So what you probably could do is like get like a separate bottle with just some peroxide and maybe spray it a little bit, and to try to get that bubbling effect. But as you can see, I don't really have a book style. This one is mostly neutral, and that other one was mostly color. But they all represent my style. This is on tracing paper also. But this is that piece that's stuck on that other page that won't come off. This that same piece right there. So they come out really nice. And then that one has some slight rusting. This was just coffee stained. And then I just play with them and put them in the book and mostly leave them exactly how they are. So this one, I either play with some gold during the rusting session, or I just added some gold after. I don't remember. So this one you could see not a lot of rust, but still a lot of texture from the rusted element. This one too. So if you want to do it, I think you would have fun doing it in. If you do it on thicker paper, it still looks good. It's not gonna go through all the layers, like this one, like these do. I have to try it. Yeah, it's easy, and it doesn't take long. All of these pages, I did them yesterday morning, and then I unfolded them this morning. So it doesn't take that long for the rusting to take effect. And what I say, if you're doing it and the rust doesn't take effect, first I would add a little bit more vinegar, and then if it still doesn't take effect, then you add a little bit more peroxide. But I don't have a measurement. I try to go half water, half vinegar, and then just a little bit of peroxide. But I just be pouring stuff and see what happens. And if it doesn't come out like I want it to come out, then I add a little bit more to it. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid. I stayed on a little bit longer. I will have to try it. I'm probably going to come back this evening after I eat something. I haven't eaten anything, and play some games. I appreciate you guys that came in with the raid, the ones that stayed, the ones that had the raid and run. I honestly appreciate you also. Thank you for the stream. Love seeing all your makes. You're welcome. Thank you for being here again, and thank you for subbing. Thank you for anybody that followed, subbed, just lurked, just kept me tabbed up while they went to go do other things. I honestly appreciate all of that. And thank you, Supreme, again for the raid. Let's see if I can find another TCC person. Sunday Slip and Stitch, prepping handmade goods, Mudworks, Freya, bullet journal, backpack, and fabric work. I don't think I've rated her lately. Let's try Morgan. There's a lot of TCC on that I haven't rated. I try to pick different people. Um, Try to share the same energy that people share with me. Um, so let's go see her. I hope she's not about to go off. I should have checked. But thank you guys again.